Mobekaya, aha, and a baby breaky at the mama say, Interpole red notice, Ken Ofori Atta, a year OSP, Nidia or the Cocoto, a year Interpole red notice alert sono, Abusuya, aha, and a baby breaky at the mama say, Interpole for a remove we, a year Ken Kuntunkunukuna Naya Ofori Atta, or more removing it at the free, a year red notice alert. So, aha, a year gossip politics TV. So, unsubscribe, subscribe and hit on the notification bell, send any updates be about dropping. One so on sa ebe to me akabina abusia timer Interpole for a day notice and I say a day document about one thing say omo remove Ken Ofori Atta f a day free Interpole red notice so no ne lawyer Frank Davis eba one thing din same bi eba betu ya na asem bi asi e wo political highway ni so about Ken Ofori Atta mo me enkonkoti ne lawyer na ye ba ye the science no ebe bremo aha gossip politics TV so
Kenneth Nanaya Kuntunkunuku Ofori Atta. His name is not on any red notice alert any longer. His name is not there. No amount of spinning of language on it will change anything. In any event. Now the special prosecutor is telling us, the office is telling us these proceedings commence in October. The pointed question to ask is that when did it come to the notice of the office of the special prosecutor that his name had been pulled down? So if that was it, why was the communication not done early on? Why is it now that the matter is in the public space, that his name has been removed? Then this childish and careless publication is made. I mean, if the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, is treating its office with candor, this information should have come into the public space long ago. When did they get to know that his name had been pulled down? When did the office of the special prosecutor get to know that Ken's name had been pulled down? So if this publication had not, if this matter had not come into the public space, were they going to come out with this publication? This gimmickry. The office should be treated with some respect. I don't think it behoves on the office to be doing what I mean. This presser and publication circle. It does not do them any good. It rather deepens their embarrassment. I mean, so what is it? So what is the end result of the publication? That his name has been pulled down. Oh, yes, of course. So proceedings are pending well. Let us await the outcome of the proceedings the OSP is talking about. Okay?
But then from the
so far as we know, as lawyers for Ken Ofori Atta, his name has been pulled down. His name is no longer on the red notice alert. That is a matter of fact. Nobody can erase it. Even the office of the special prosecutor admits in their penalty paragraph. So what is new?
Okay, ne lawyer Frank Davis and I yetenenka nensema or the two after say Interpole for a remove Ken Ofori Atta edin free a red notice alert. So now Ken Ofori Atta emrebi okoko piemu ewo court USA Immigration Court na okoko piemu no omo adjourning in the case no eba be share ene 19th of February. Enti Ken Ofori Atta ono NHS yede na to screen nchen e de amam time a okoko piemu ewo USA Immigration court wono ne nose marks na e board na no ene ade HSE Ken Ofori Atta ekwa kopiemu ewo USA court eno ena ya project ede ato ye screen no enchen ede amam no USA Immigration Court to hear Ofori Atta's bond application today. Abusia enti no ena US Immigration Court no judges net na say na HSE ensem bi Ken Ofori Atta ne application a file ede koma USA court no omo apensem mu na HSE omo de omo final ruling ede ababonten. Enti no latest update on Ken Ofori Atta no ene okwa kopiemu ewo USA Immigration Court na HSE judges no omo here eye ne case or the babe to omo anim ne ade ade na say final ruling no ababo ntina empanyimfo nso atena ase e de ehon nsem bebre ababe to dwa about eye ne remover on Interpole red notice so say ehon nsem ne ene okwa akopie mu ewo USA court no yenko na yenko tie ensema e pause unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be ya any update be able dropping one so onsa ebetumi akabi medamase
of the people there to topple the 27-year rule of Blaise Compaoré, and subsequently Ibrahim Traoré also taking over as a military leader in 2022, and what's happening within the Sahel and all the information coming from there. Data suggests that 51% of deaths reported through terrorism come from the Sahel area. And so what does this mean for Ghana and its security? We'll be going into that. We'll be speaking to a security analyst, Dr. Victor Doke, who will be joining us via video call. But right now, let me introduce my panel in studio. I do have just on my immediate right, Mr. Al-Hassan Tampoli. He's a member of parliament for Gushewu, also private legal practitioner with the opposition NPP. Good morning to you, sir. It's great to have you here.
Good morning, Beatrice. It's good to be here.
Of course, I do have as well a legal practitioner, private legal practitioner, and a member of the NDC legal team, Mr. Victor Kojogan Adaudu. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you as well for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Beatrice. It's a pleasure being here.
And I have our regular panelist with us, Dr. Bernard Tutubuahin, who is a political strategist. Doc, it's great to have you.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to my great lawyers and member of parliament. It's good to be with you, yes. and it's a great panel that we have here.
I'll be joined very shortly as well by Andrew Appiah Dankwa, who is spokesperson, Movement for Change. He'll be joining us in the studio, and he's also the director of legal for the United Party. And yes, he'll be joining us as well very shortly. But I was telling you that Interpol has deleted permanently the name of Ken Ofori from its red alert list. And over the weekend, we saw the Office of the Special Prosecutor issuing a statement giving us a bit of flesh as regards the decision of Interpol. And I want us to go through that. Now, it says that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has received the decision of the Commission for the Control of Interpol's files concerning the red notice issued at Ghana's request for Mr. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori. The Commission directed the deletion of the notice under Interpol's rules on political neutrality and notice processing, citing contextual factors at the time of issuance, including, quote, polarized political statements from members of current and former administrations about the conduct of the investigation, unquote, as well as public controversy surrounding prosecutorial and extradition processes, including public acknowledgement by senior officials at the Ministry of Justice of an inability at the time to pursue extradition due to the early procedural stage of the case. It says it's further observed that subsequent development made the notice unnecessary, as Mr. Ofori's location was known, cooperation with U.S. authorities was ongoing, and extradition processes had already been initiated following his arrest in the United States on 6 January 2026. Summons issued by the Criminal Division of the High Court in Accra have been transmitted for service in the United States, requiring his appearance to answer multiple criminal charges. Efforts to secure his appearance continue through established legal diplomatic channels. The OSP reiterates that it remains guided solely by law and evidence and is committed to due process and the fair, lawful, and impartial prosecution of corruption and corruption-related offences. So that was a statement issued earlier by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, giving us an understanding of the latest development when it comes to Interpol removing the name of Mr. Ofori from its red alert. Let me acknowledge the presence of Mr. Andrew Appiah Dankwa, who is the head of legal for the United Party. Good morning to you. It's great to have you here with us as well.
It's great to be on your show, and good morning to your lovely viewers and my two learned friends here and my doctor friend.
Perhaps I should start with you. Let me get your understanding of Interpole's decision this time around.
So let me wish your lovely viewers a good morning. So if I understand what has happened, Interpole has removed the red alert, and for me, I think it's pretty straightforward. So when you take into consideration the purpose of the red alert, as in is an alert you give to enable you what's called get hold of somebody who supposedly is a fugitive, as in somebody who is alleged to have committed an offense and is run away from the law. As things stands now, Honorable Ken Ofori is in custody, not necessarily in Ghana's custody, but he's in custody in the US, albeit for a different what's called issue. Everybody in the world knows where he is, and so for me, then this whole red alert, in my opinion, has no benefit. Because the focus of the red alert is not to necessarily embarrass people. As in the focus of the red alert is to aid in dispensing with justice, so that if at the end the person for which the red alert was placed on what's called is known, as we all know where he is, then for me, I think it wouldn't make sense to still keep the red alert. So I agree with Interpole's stance on this. What's called, I think. You see, what all this brings to the fore once again, and as in when you read the comments by the OSP, you must understand that in 1992, when we took our constitution, we all agreed that one of the fundamental principles that will guide our constitution, that will guide this constitutional democracy, is the principle of the rule of law, and we are all supposed to be, or presumed to be, innocent until proven so. And I think that that principle extends to Honorable Ken Ofori, and the OSP ought to be guided by law and by the principles of the rule of law in how everything is being handled. I think if there's something that we have all failed, all of us, is in making this case look very political and very partisan. And so, even though, in my opinion, this is clearly a case or an investigation that ought to affirm our commitment to the principles of probity and accountability. But the way the discourse has been handled, the fact that the OSP, in my opinion, did not have the courage to pursue these actions when His Excellency Nana Addo was still in office, and had to take the steps he's taking now when they left office, gives credence to the view that probably this case is being politically motivated. So for me, I think it brings to the fore the whole discussion about the OSP, about the need for an OSP who's really independent, because in the way the OSP was set up, it still takes, not from, the OSP is not a creation of the Constitution. The OSP, the Act itself, takes its powers from the AG. You get a point. And the way the OSP has handled this case clearly shows that, for all intents and purposes, the OSP is not independent. So
if I hear you clearly, you're saying that we're where we are because the OSP failed to do what it had to do in the first place.
Yeah, because the whole idea of creating the OSP was to have an anti-corruption czar who was truly independent of the Attorney General, who could not be controlled by the executive. And yet, in how we created the office of the OSP, the OSP, per the act that created it, takes its authority more or less from the AG. It's like the OSP is like an agent of the Attorney General. And to give credence to my view, strangely, these offenses that Ken Ofori is purported to have committed happened during the Ezra regime. And yet the OSP could not have the courage to initiate these actions until what's called Nanado left office. You understand? Giving credence to a belief that really the OSP is not independent. If it were, then for me, the OSP ought to explain why these actions, these steps were not initiated during Nanado's regime, and you could only take these steps when it was called the lost power, bringing into sharp focus and bringing or creating the need for us to have a conversation about anti-corruption institutions, whether or not they are, in terms of how they are created, in terms of the institutions, whether or not we've placed them in a position to deliver their money. One country, we have OSP, we have IOCO, we have Shiraj, we have Attorney General, we have CID, we have police, and all these institutions purport to be what's called fighting corruption. You understand? So for me, I think if we are really committed to the fight against corruption, and we ought to be committed to the fight against corruption because of the losses occasioned by way of corruption, then, and if indeed we are committed to creating a body which is not meant to be partisan, which is not meant to be under the control of the executive, then we must do it properly. And to do it properly, in my view, is to have this body created by the Constitution itself.
Just very briefly, before I come to you, Lawyer Victor Dawodu, what I hear you say, aside from the problem with the Attorney General's Department and the fact that the Special Prosecutor is not independent, as it were, you're also saying that if that office had acted in time, we would not have been in a situation where it looks like discussions around this very issue became political, which is one of the reasons Interpole has decided to take him off.
No. So there are two different issues here. I'm saying that Interpole, I support Interpole taking him off because then was the we all know where Ken is. So why do you still keep him there? I keep him there because you want to embarrass the man or what? Because for me, that should not be the focus. We want justice. You understand? And want justice per the law. You understand? And that's why the OSP is saying, because you see, in 1992, like I'm saying, one of the cardinal principles that underpins our constitutional democracy is the principle of the rule of law. And that principle, in fact, dictates that we should all be presumed to be innocent.
And to proving guilty.
As things stands now, Ken Ofori is presumed, or we should presume that he is innocent. But having said that, and you see, when you read the Interpole too, see, they don't want to, and in fact, and this issue will come also in the extradition issue. They don't want to use extradition to support cases that are perceived to be politically motivated.
Let me get your thoughts, Lawyer Dawodu, and I'll read the second paragraph of the statement coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor to you again. It says the Commission directed the deletion of the notice under Interpole's rules on political neutrality and notice processing, citing contextual factors at the time of issuance, including, quote, polarized political statements from members of current and former administrations about the conduct of the investigation. You must be concerned that amongst all the other reasons Interpole gave, this is also one major thing that is said, which is the reason we are where we are.
Yeah, good morning, Beatrice, and good morning to the good people of Ghana. You see, let's really get what actually a red notice is, because we are here to educate people. And this is a global law enforcement request that is made. It's made to the countries, other countries where there is police, that they want somebody to trace somebody and know where the person is so that they may arrest the person for provisional arrest and maybe to extradite the person. So what they do, so it is not an international arrest warrant, no, right? So it's just to give notice to the police in all the countries where you are a member that we are tracing. We don't know the location of this suspect. And normally it is based on a court order or a national order. What I understand is that it is becoming moot, the red notice, in the sense that now, as we speak, we know where Ken Ofori is. He can be traced. There has also been an extradition.
Okay, abusia we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Ken Ofori and na chese ye de no latest update at the brem a enye asem keto akra enti no ene okwa kopie mu ewo US immigration court enye yi kura beda masesamo jepene kokoti za ensem we e de MI aha gossip politics TV so unsubscribe ya subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be drop no wonso wonsa ebetumi akabi beda mase